Hey folks, this is the Green Vlog and this is the 6th of September 2013. Everything has been so hectic lately. Everything in life has sort of come along at once. To start with, I guess I should start from the start. It was my birthday on the other day, about a week ago now roughly. And I did quite a few things that day, which I normally do for my birthday. I normally save up a bit of money or use my birthday money and go out and go big, sort of. So, in my sort of criteria as big anyway. What did I do? I bought two games to start with. They were both pretty new ones. First one was Mario and Luigi Dream Team Bros. A lot of people might not have heard about it, or they might have, because not many games have come out for the 3DS, which are much good. This is a good game. It's one of the Mario and Luigi RPG games from that series. Now the Game Boy Advance version is still the best one, I think. The very first Mario and Luigi RPG. But this one is good too. It's sort of like still 2D-ish like they used to be. But they're going into 3D elements. Like the characters stand out a bit more. They're a bit bigger, they're a bit more colourful. It's all a bit more updated and everything, that's all. But it's good because every now and then you go into Luigi's brain and very strange things happen there. Things that don't happen in a lot of games lately, which is showing that Nintendo still has a huge amount of imagination. And I love the game for that. You don't see it very often anymore, I don't think. I think a lot of games lately are just very paint by numbers. As in, they just do what they're meant to do. RPGs just have turn-based, just have battles, just have a little bit of story in there that doesn't really make much sense, and there's the end boss and you're done. But this one adds some interesting elements along the way, which I highly recommend you check out and find out for yourself, to be honest. The other game I bought was Rayman Legends for the PS3. I haven't actually started or even unwrapped it yet, which is bad, but it's only because I got another game that I bought about a month ago now maybe, I don't know. So yeah, Rayman Legends, I'm looking forward to that because Rayman Origins is an incredible game. You might not think that 2D platformers can be much good anymore, but the Rayman ones are actually beating the Mario ones for me right now because they have so much more. They just stand out more, I think. The Mario games, they have the Mario 2D platformers. They're all very similar to each other lately. They have a snow world, a fire world, a desert world, and there's nothing different about them anymore. But Rayman games, they go for something different. They have music levels where they've gotten music from the real world rather than making their own, and made them into their own. Real world music made into their own. And they make stages out of that, and it's so fun to play. So I'm going to try Rayman Legends after I've made this video, actually, probably, while it's rendering and everything. I'm going to give it a go. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Also on my birthday anyway, I went to the cinema and saw this film called Elysium. I think it's one of the bigger films at the moment because it's made by one of the same people from District 9. That was about aliens and stuff coming to Earth and living and everything. Elysium isn't quite as good as that, regardless of I think it's director. I think it's the same director. It's okay. The problems, like the concept of it is, it's a lower world where the lower class people live and work for the people on the higher world where they're the higher class people. They have mansions, they have massive gardens, whereas the people on lower world, they're like slaves and they live in, not cages, but just little sort of shacks, you know. It's not brilliant. It does have Matt Damon. And his acting, I think, is some of the best in the film, but that's not saying much. The acting in the film is really bad. Also, the script writing was really bad, and it's pretty much the same phrases used right through the film. It's just swearing when something goes wrong, it's just grunting, it's not brilliant script writing. Also, the scenes, they don't seem to flow together. It seems to be one scene, and then it randomly goes on to a completely different scene a lot of the time. They don't seem to flow into each other. Does that make sense? Which isn't a bad thing in itself, but it just doesn't all seem to fit together, the whole film. If it was just like little clips on YouTube or something, it would have been really interesting. Expensive for clips, but really interesting. So yeah, I would still surprisingly recommend watching it because it's a good concept. I do like the idea as a whole, but only if you can get it, only if you can like rent it cheap for like £3, or if it comes on Netflix or something like that. I wouldn't go to the cinema and pay so much money or buy a DVD of it even. But you know, some people might like it more if it's very sci-fi. That's all. It's not spacey sci-fi as such, but it's sci-fi anyway. That was about it for my birthday, I think. Oh, I went to Pizza Hut. That was good. It was packed and everything, but I think that made it more interesting. It made the day stand out more. If it was really quiet, then you got your meal straight away and then just ate and left. That'd be a bit boring. That would be everyday stuff. But because it was so packed and I had to wait for everything and all that, I quite liked it. Somehow. Anyway, other than my birthday, what else has been going on? I've got a new job now. I started Monday. So I've got the next couple of days off until then to have a rest and whatever. Because I've been on a work experience scheme. Only for a couple of days, and then my interview came along, which I applied for months ago. So I applied for it months ago, had a work experience the last week. Had the interview during the last week, on Wednesday actually. Tuesday or Wednesday, and I got the job from that interview the same day he called me. So I'll be starting on Monday, and I hope it's really good because the pay isn't too bad and it's really close by as well. And as well as that, I can wear whatever I like. You don't have to be all stuffy ties and shirts and shoes. You can wear whatever. And it's for admin work as well, which surprised me because in admin you normally have to wear proper not uniforms, but you know, proper work clothes. So there's that, and I'm sort of looking forward to that. I'm just hoping I can do it. It's only admin work, it's only photocopying, filing, whatever. So I should be able to do the work, I'm sure. It's quite sociable as well, because apparently I'll be in an office with a couple of other people, so you're not in a room on your own doing the work, and each person having a room of their own. You're all in a sort of a big room together, not split up as such. So that'll be good. I'll give you an update about how that goes if I'm not too tired after work sometimes. Yeah, I'll do it sometime anyway. I'll give you a shout about how that goes. What else have I been doing? I don't know. Oh yeah, I got a new book. It was only like £1 in Tesco's or something, which is a big supermarket over here if you aren't living here, whatever. It's called A Sleep Room. And I thought I'd give it a try. I just saw it there because it was cheap, and it might mean that there's a new author that I like. I've only read about 60 odd pages, and I can't say I'd buy another book by him. What's his name? F.R. Tallis. He's also got another pseudonym, but it's still got Tallis in the name then, so whether it's a pen name or not is debatable, I guess, but it's got a different first name anyway. So, and it's about this man who goes to work. Right, it's a horror book, by the way. It's supposed to be, I think. Psychological horror more than anything else. I'm about 60 pages in, and all that's happened so far is about this man. He's moved into this mental asylum, and he works there. He's not one of the patients, he just works there. And yeah, it's pretty good so far. There's little horror elements, like he thinks someone's walking behind him. The most interesting scene so far, I think, and the only one I'm going to remember, I think, is where he has a game of chess with one of the patients, and the patient is normally really aggravated all the time, and it's about how he keeps the patient under control throughout the whole game of chess. It's really interesting. I highly recommend checking that out, and that is, if you wanted to go online and just have a look for whatever that chapter is, it is chapter 3. Anyways, and otherwise it's just been about him settling in, meeting the nurses, meeting his manager and all that sort of stuff, and it's a good read. I don't quite like the writing style. It's very stilted. There's like a couple of words to a sentence each, but it's written by a psychologist, a real life psychologist, so he knows what he's talking about. So it's interesting to see what he's getting across and what you can learn from the book in general. That's going to be fun to read, I think. I've also been reading some Higurashi. I'll just make this one quick, just a little update on my Higurashi reading. I'm currently reading the Higurashi Massacre arc, which It's a lot thicker than the other arcs. There's 6 of these, 6 of them. And it's supposed to be the arc where everything goes right. I know what's going to happen because I've watched the anime. But it's the arc where everything's supposed to go right, and it is. So far, it's going very well, and it surprises me that it's called the Massacre arc when it's the good arc, you know, with the good ending. That's all I'm going to say about it for now, because I keep mentioning it all the time. It's probably not worth mentioning anymore, because you're probably bored of it. What else is there? There's the PSN update, or SEN update, whatever you want to call it now, because it hasn't been called PSN for a while now. There's a couple of things, a couple of discounts on the store right now, on the PlayStation 3 store. And they include Grandia 3, you can get for £2 to £3. If you're a Plus member, you can get even cheaper, an even bigger discount. And this is all a part, Grandia is like, it's a JRPG, turn-based and everything. It's very dated now, but I think that adds to the charm. And the voice work during the battles is so good. When you use certain attacks, the characters have very funny and interesting voices and different lines of dialogue. And it's really good. It's well worth a go. It's 2 discs long and it's only £2 to £3, so even if you don't like it, you're not losing out on too much money. So it's worth it. And this is all a part of the Japanese, what's popular in Japan sale on the UK store at least. I think it's on the American one as well, I think. What else is on there? There's loads of Japanese games, like I said, loads of discounts for them. I also got Luna Silver Star Harmony, which I heard is really good. I heard it's a remake of the first Luna Silver Star game. I've heard that. It's got cutscenes. It was for the PS1, I believe. No, PSP. It's a tenner, so it's quite expensive still, but it's a full-on RPG. You're going to get a lot of hours out of it. You're going to get a lot of enjoyment. And looking at the screenshots on the store, which are awesome if you want to check those out, it's looking to be really fun. I do like my JRPGs old style like that, turn-based, whatever. So I'm going to give that a go in a bit. I got plenty of other games still hanging around that I haven't even started, so I'm not going to be buying any more games except for Rain on the PSN. Oh, that's coming soon, Rain. Have you seen the E3 trailer for that? It's about this person who's invisible but can be seen in the rain, or when he's walking in puddles or water of any kind. It reminds me of, what's the name of that? The Invisible Man. What's the name of that film? The Invisible Man. It reminds me of that, where you can't be seen unless you're in water and stuff. And the music of the trailer was so sad, and it makes me think it's going to be an emotional game, an arty game like Flower, Flow, Journey, rather than a full-on game. Does that make sense? It makes me think it's going to be like that, but I don't really know yet. You can pre-order it now on the PSN store. It's £10 like I said before. You get a hell of a lot for pre-ordering. You get loads of avatars, you get 2 themes, one static, one dynamic. You get a mini soundtrack, and you get the game as soon as it comes out. So you get a hell of a lot for pre-ordering, and I highly recommend it. Go and buy the trailer, or only the trailer from E3. What else is there? Oh yeah, also on PSN is Brothers. A new game called Brothers. It's £12, so it's quite expensive. I've tried the demo. It's alright. It's not something I would buy for £12. Or roughly £12, however much it really comes to. It's about these 2 brothers looking for their lost father, and you have to control them. You go around the real world, like 3D-ish. It reminds me a lot of Fable. Any of you who played that for the 360 or Xbox, whichever one. It reminds me a lot of Fable, where you walk around exactly like that, but there's no attacking and stuff that I've seen in the demo. The landscapes, environments and the colours, they're very autumny, red, yellow, brown, orange. It all reminds me of Fable so much. And yeah, it looks good. Control wise, you control the older brother with the left analog stick and the younger brother with the right analog stick, where you just walk around like that, and it's very fiddly, I think, because you have to control them both at the same time to move around, and you sort of mix them up a little bit sometimes. And if you want to interact with the older brother, left analog stick and L2, younger brother, right analog stick and R2. So you have to try and keep them separate like that, and you just climb around, you just solve little puzzly things. It's quite fun, but like I said, it's gonna be discounted at some point, I'm sure. It'll probably be on Plus at some point. I can't recommend getting it at full price, but having said that, it does look fun. It really depends on how much disposable income we got right now, I guess. Oh, another film that I've seen in the cinema lately. Yeah, I've been twice. I don't very often go to the cinema, but I've been twice in the last week or so. And I saw You're Next. It's typical horror. This big, rich family all get together in the middle of nowhere into one house and stay together I can't remember why they get together. I don't think it really matters, but I think it's just like a big family get together sort of thing. They have a neighbour, but let's just say they might as well not be there throughout the film. And it's how they all die off one by one because there are some assassins around the outside. Anyone who's seen the film Strangers will pretty much know what's coming, but there are some things that make it stand out from other sort of one by one death sort of horror films. And that's that one of the survivors, one of the family members, is a sort of survival expert since her father sent her to survival camp or something stupid like that. So you got one of the family members who does really well at surviving throughout it all, and it's so good because towards the end, sort of, the assassins become the victims in a sense because of that surviving character, and it's very interesting because of that. I think it's really good fun to watch. It's not scary at all. It's an 18, but only because of the blood and gore and the deaths. But it's not scary. It's nothing completely unique, but it does have a nice twist from the usual formula. And the soundtrack, yeah, that's something worth mentioning. It's a horror film with a good soundtrack. That doesn't happen often. With horror films normally, it's very dark, grungy, forgettable, I think. But with this film, there's proper music, like, I don't know who sings the soundtrack or some of the soundtrack, but it's good. It's worth a watch, and I'd say it's good in the cinema as well, because you get the cinema horror film feel, as I like to call it. You get the loud bangs which shock you, make you jump with some other people who then laugh, and you get the proper experience being surrounded by people who are as jumpy as you, and I think that's good about horror films in the cinema. Worth a go. If you want to wait until Netflix or DVD, it'll still be worth it, I think. Finally, the last thing I wanted to mention was that my next Let's Play, I know it's been a couple of days now, I've had a bit of a break from Let's Playing because of everything that's been going on, and I'm not sure which to do next. It's going to be one of two. Either way, it's going to be an RPG, and it's going to be pretty huge, and that's why I'm deliberating between the two of them so much, because you don't want to start a Let's Play of a JRPG and then get bored of it right at the very start, because you're not going to go through 30ish hours of a Let's Play if you were bored in the first hour. It's just too much. So I gotta make a good decision with this one. I'll probably be doing both of them at some point anyway, but right now, what I fancy the most. And I don't want to give you the options. All it is a JRPG, which seemed to go best for me. I think I do best with JRPGs, even though you're not meant to do them because people get bored halfway through and bugger off and whatever. That's just what people say anyway. But I think they are the best kind of Let's Plays to watch, because you get to watch that. You can watch some other Let's Play at the same time from someone else, a shorter Let's Play or something, to keep you occupied while another episode's being made. That's how I do it anyway. I watch one RPG and one shorter sort of Let's Play. Anyway. So I'll keep you updated on that. You'll probably see the trailer within the next few days. I say the trailer, the sort of opening cinematic. Before you start a new game sort of thing. That's what I normally do. So, this has been Greeny XI. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you again in the next vlog or when I start the Let's Play soon. But because I'm starting a new job soon, it might take a few days to get there, you know. It's gonna happen. It's unavoidable, really. So, this has been Good XI. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you again next time. In a bit.